Hi, it's CNT120. We are working on Chapter 4, and we're in the section on ARP, Address Resolution Protocol. This is a protocol working at our network or internet layer. With ARP is a IP version 4 protocol, and it's there to discover a MAC address when we know the IP address. Well, think through real quickly. If I go to try to load a web page, www.hack.edu, when I type that in, that name is going to get resolved using DNS. So I will send the name out, DNS server will respond back with the IP. Now I have the IP address of hack.edu, but I don't know its MAC address. So my computer will now use an ARP to try to find that MAC address. And now when it has those two paired, the IP and MAC, I can now package data and send to the web server. Now, ARP is there to get you the MAC address for an IP. Now, if the computer, let's say my computer and the web server are on the same network, when I ARP, that server would respond back with this MAC address, and I would now have the IP to MAC mapping. If that server is on a different network, most likely it will be, when I ARP out, the gateway device, router or gateway device, usually responds to me saying, hey, use this MAC address. And it's the MAC address of that gateway device. And it will actually then forward that request on and try to get me to that server. So when I ARP out, I'm either getting that device's MAC address or the middleman, if you will, to get me to that device. And my computer then builds a database of IP to MAC address mappings. IP address, MAC address, IP address, MAC address. And these are typically on a computer dynamic that they will time out after a while. So when I go to generate new traffic, I will most likely need a new ARP to fill that in my table. Dynamic and static, yeah. So on my computer, if I use ARP-A, I can actually see the MAC address to IP address mappings on my computer. So on my computer, let me pull up my command prompt here. If I do an ARP-A, I can say, hey, here's the IP addresses and MAC addresses that are known on this computer. Not many because I'm on a small network right now. But that is the MAC address to IP address mapping that my computer has learned. And if it doesn't know that, it would need to go out and, if I can't find it in the table, it will need to generate an ARP to find that IP address to MAC mapping. Now, let me use our previous Wireshark capture here. And we will try to, let me slide this guy down here. Here we go, that'll work. That's good enough for what we're doing. We had done an IP version 6 capture before, ICMP version 6 capture before. Let's pull that out and let's put ARP in and see if when we were doing our pings, because we pinged the Hack website and then we pinged the Google website. Well, as we were pinging the Hack website, we were trying to do that through IP version 4. So we see a bunch of ARP messages. Yeah, who has blah, 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 let them know. So if I look at one of these, ARP packages here, I will see that the Ethernet header, the source is coming from a specific node, and the destination is a broadcast. It's broadcasting out on the network saying, hey, does anybody know this? And if I look at the ARP header here, I will see that the sender, MAC address, sender IP, it knows this would be like my computer, MAC and IP, but the target is trying to find this thing, but it doesn't know it, so it's broadcasting it out. Hey, does anybody know this? So it's a way to broadcast out and find information, find the MAC address of a node. But again, the key there, broadcast, things like gateways and routers and gateways and firewalls are not going to pass that broadcast on. So it really is a local network thing to find the MAC address for an IP address. So that is your IP version 4 traffic, ARP, Address Resolution Protocol traffic for IP4 networks. Now on an IP6 network, we typically have Network Discovery Protocol. Network Discovery Protocol, this is essentially the same kind of idea for an IP version 6 network. ICMP message, automatically detects neighboring devices and just when neighboring nodes fail. So this eliminates the need for ARP and some ICMP functions. And this is kind of filling that same type of role, filling in that information of neighbors and things that are out on the network. So the kinds of protocols I would run into are logic link discovery protocol or a proprietary Cisco discovery protocol. So if I take a look at my capture from before, let me see if I have any. I kind of doubt it. I'll do Cisco discovery protocol. Nope, I do not. And logical link discovery protocol, no, I do not. So this, because our machines are building and learning and maintaining better than IP4, I'm not actually seeing any of that type of traffic on my network capture from before. But we always take a peek. So there is ARP and Network Discovery Protocol.